my speech. Help me to welcome Edward Till. Let me tell you something. I'm feeling old. It's not just the grey hairs in my beard, or the fact that I'm getting a bit right-wing now in my politics, and I'm even thinking of voting for the Conservatives next time round. But it's my love of horticulture. My partner and I have really taken to looking after the plants that are in our flat. So we make sure that they're carefully watered every day, we get the right kind of fertilisers into them, and we talk to them. Oh, Mrs. Madrigal. They all have names, they're rather camp. Oh, Mrs. Madrigal, you're not looking so good today, are you? We need to move your position. Oh, Lola, you're looking so perky today. You really are happy, and we're really happy about that. Yes, we have really taken to our plants. But I'm trying to think, what is it about gardening and horticulture that's associated with being old? Who here is into gardening, horticulture, plants and things? So clearly it is an old thing. Just a thank you so much. Exactly what I was to say. It can also be for young people. Because you know what? I think back to when I was young. I grew up in a small village, large village, small town. And we had a wonderful garden with lots of flowers and trees in it. And I don't seem to remember spending time talking to every one of them, having to water them, or getting the fertilisers right. So what was it we were doing right then that we're doing wrong now? Well, the answer is very simple. Rabbits. You see, my brother and I both had a pet rabbit. His was called Lucy, and mine, the love of my life, was called Honey, my lovely little rabbit. And for about 3 weeks, we looked after them really, really well. Every day we fed them and we gave them water, and these rabbits were very, very happy. But then we got bored and went on to other hobbies. And what did we do? We decided to let the rabbits loose in the garden. So from that day onwards, we had 2 rabbits, which were semi-wild, living in our garden. And they were the best gardeners you could possibly imagine. They nibbled up the grass, they ate all of the trees that were sort of coming up, so they really kept the weeds under control. And most importantly of all their droppings were the fertiliser for the garden. So there was a constant supply of fertiliser, we never had to do anything. And the garden bloomed. It was beautiful and it was green. And I learned so much more from these rabbits. I learned how to stand up for yourself. Because in addition to 2 rabbits, we also had a dog, a dachshund. A little one, so roughly the size of the rabbit. And when the rabbit first came, the dachshund decided that it was going to victimise my poor Honey. So you would see, with the floppy ears, tongue hanging out, the dachshund chasing around the room, around the garden, with my poor little rabbit, with her teeth looking really, really scared. And this would go on for hours. And we learnt as children that cruelty can be so much fun. But we also learned that times can change, because within a few weeks, the tables had turned. And now it was my little rabbit, Honey, with an evil glint in her eyes, who was now chasing round a rather bemused dachshund with his tongue hanging out. And we learned that you can stand up for yourself. And this saved her life, because one day, a man came to our front door with my beloved Honey in his arms, and he said, I answered the door, and he said, I believe this rabbit is yours. She's got a nasty nip. And I said, well, if somebody was trying to cook me, I'd probably bite them. Because this man had stolen the rabbit with the intention of eating it, and thankfully, she'd taken a good nip out of him. So I was very pleased for Honey at that point. And the other thing I learned was about relationships. Because it's so obvious in retrospect. I mean, all the signs were there. Honey and Lucy were lesbians. They were in a same-sex relationship. And they were so happy together. They never had to invite any male rabbits around to see them. They never had to worry about any of that, and they were very happy together. So we learned a lot about relationships as well. So, these days, I'm so careful with my flowers. These days, I water them, I put fertiliser in them, and I talk to them. But in the old days, I didn't have to. And I say to all of you, you can have so much fun, just get a couple of rabbits, put them in your garden, and they'll take care of everything, and you can leave the rest up to nature. Thank you very much.